President of my company can't be averse to the very thing that built it.
So, here's the question Landman is asking ahead of its season finale. What does Tommy Norris do when he's given the choice to either save the woman who just fired him, or let her and the company that betrayed him go down in flames? His decision in the upcoming finale is going to change absolutely everything. The stage for the Landman Season 2 finale, Tragedy and Flies, isn't just set, it feels like it's been doused in gasoline and someone's flicking a lighter. At the end of episode 9, Cami Miller did the one thing that seemed truly unthinkable, she fired Tommy Norris. In front of everyone, she canned the one man her late husband trusted to keep the company grounded. With that single, shocking move, she cut the last thread of loyalty and experience holding back her own reckless ambition. Now, with the finale, titled Tragedy and Flies, set to air on January 18th, the entire fandom is wondering what happens next. Cami has made her bed, siding with the dangerously pragmatic investor Gallino to fund a high-risk offshore gamble. And Tommy, the man who built his entire career on preventing these exact kinds of disasters, is officially on the outside looking in. But if fan theories and previews are anything to go by, Cami is about to regret her power trip in a big, big way. The conflict of the finale isn't just about whether an oil rig hits gas anymore. It's about when Cami will come crawling back to the only man who can fix her mess. And, more importantly, what Tommy's going to say when she does. To really get the weight of what's coming, we have to look at the moment it all blew up. The firing wasn't some sudden decision, it was the final crack in a foundation that had been crumbling all season long. From the second Cami Miller took over MTech's, she was on a collision course with Tommy Norris. Where her husband Monty saw a partner whose caution balanced his own ambition, Cami saw a roadblock. She viewed Tommy's past bankruptcy as a character flaw, and his constant warnings about risk weren't prudent, they were a sign of weakness. She even told him, "The president of my company can't be averse to the very thing that built it." Cami, desperate to prove herself, got drunk on the high-stakes world her husband dominated. She admitted to Tommy she finally understood the exhilaration to the risk. It's a feeling Tommy knows all too well, a dangerous addiction he's fought his whole life. He saw her partnership with Gallino not as a smart business move, but as a deal with the devil. Tommy knew that an investor like Gallino always gets his money back, one way or another, leaving Cami to take the fall if things went south. The final showdown happened in Louisiana at a party to celebrate Cami's big offshore gamble. Surrounded by the very people he was trying to protect, Tommy just couldn't fake it. His skepticism was written all over his face. For Cami, that was it. She didn't want a president to challenge her, she wanted a cheerleader. And with a few cold words, she fired the living embodiment of Monty's legacy. The shock on Tommy's face said it all. The company he gave his life to was now in the hands of someone seemingly determined to drive it right off a cliff. This brings us to what we believe will be the core of the finale. An episode titled Tragedy and Flies practically screams that something is about to go catastrophically wrong. For weeks, fan theories have been predicting that Cami's offshore project is doomed. If that rig fails and the investment evaporates, Cami will be left with a ruined company and a very unhappy Gallino demanding his money back. In that moment of total desperation, who's the only person she can possibly turn to? The one guy with the experience and grit to pull a company back from the brink? Yep. Tommy Norris. We're predicting a humbled, terrified Cami showing up on Tommy's doorstep, begging him to return. It's the kind of dramatic, satisfying scene Taylor Sheridan loves to write. But the real question isn't if she'll ask. It's what Tommy will do. And everything about his character arc this season points to one answer, he's going to say no. This rejection, if it happens, won't just be about spite. It'll be the climax of Tommy's journey this season. Getting fired wasn't just losing a job, it was a liberation. He's finally free from the boardroom, from managing Cami's impulses, and from his unwanted entanglement with Gallino. Why on earth would he willingly step back into that mess? His priorities have completely shifted. Previews show his son, Cooper, is in serious legal trouble after defending his fiancée, Ariana. His family needs him more than ever. The firing forces Tommy to focus on what really matters, and it's not the M-Tech's letterhead, it's the Norris name. Some fan theories even suggest Tommy might pivot to work with his son, combining Cooper's ambition with his own hard-won expertise to build something new, something that is truly theirs. Besides, accepting Cami's offer would be a betrayal of his own principles. He fought against the rig deal because he knew it was a reckless gamble that put everyone in danger. Returning now just to clean up her mess would validate her terrible decision. It would make him a janitor, not a president. The Landman would be giving up his own ground, and after everything, that's a price we don't think he's willing to pay. A rejection would be his declaration of independence. If Tommy does reject her, the fallout will be immediate, brutal, and set the stage for a wild season 3. For Cami Miller, it would be the start of her downfall. Without Tommy, M-Tech's is a ship without a rudder in a hurricane. If the rig fails, as many suspect, she'll be completely exposed. Gallino, no longer seeing a useful partner, will likely show his true colors. The veiled threats could become very, very real. Cami, who fired Tommy for being risk-averse, will probably find herself facing a level of danger she never could have imagined. For Tommy, saying no opens up a world of possibilities. While the finale will likely see him dealing with Cooper's legal crisis, it also positions him as a powerful free agent. The most exciting fan theories suggest he won't just walk away, he'll build something better. There's speculation he could team up with Cooper to create a leaner, smarter operation, M-Tech's, as some fans have called it. Another fascinating possibility is a forced alliance with Gallino. A finale preview shows another meeting between the two, and Gallino is a pragmatist who knows Tommy is the only one who can actually protect his investment. He might just bypass Cami entirely and try to put Tommy in charge, creating a tense dynamic that would drive season 3. This could set up the ultimate showdown, Cami's crumbling M-Tech's, a monument to bad decisions, versus whatever Tommy builds next. His new venture would represent everything M-Tech's has lost: experience, caution, and family loyalty. The man Cami fired for not being a gambler might just end up owning the whole casino. As season 2 closes, Landman is poised to leave us on the edge of our seats. This story is about more than an oil company, it's about power, loyalty, and what a man does when he's pushed to his absolute limit. Tommy's firing wasn't an end, we think it was the explosive start of his next chapter. But these are just our predictions based on the breadcrumbs Taylor Sheridan has left us. What do you think will happen? Would Tommy be right to turn Cami down? What do you think the tragedy in the finale's title is? Will he start his own company with Cooper, or be forced to work with Gallino? Drop your theories in the comments below. We read every single one. And if you want to stay up to date on all things Landman, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.